Yeah, hello ma'am, good morning.
Okay, right. How have you been?
I've been doing good. What about you?
I'm doing good as well. Thank you for asking. So, what would you like to talk about basically today?
Anything?
So we have a very interesting topic to have a discussion on today. It's the magic of migration, okay? So, let's try to talk about migration basically, right? And brain drain also. What do you understand by brain drain, Karishma?
No idea. I haven't heard this term before.
Okay, brain drain. Have you never heard this word?
No.
Okay, right. So basically, brain drain means where there is a highly skilled individual, okay, who's moving out from your country after they have done all of their degrees from your country, and then they move out and start working in another country for a better opportunity and better pay and better career. This is known as brain drain because initially they are gaining all the education from your native country only, right? And then they go and work for some other company in different country. So the brain drain is happening there, right? There's this particular country who has actually nurtured you and made you a good, highly skilled individual is now losing the labor basically, right? That he could be providing in his own native country, but he has moved to a foreign country for a better pay, better career opportunities. So India is kind of a place which has a lot of brain drain going on, where there are a lot of people. I mean, it's their choice basically. There's nothing much to say about it. It's their choice, but they do all of their degrees from here, right? IIT, IIM, but they don't really work in their homeland. So they go to other foreign country, and these are like highly skilled people like doctors, engineers, scientists, right? So that is the meaning of brain drain. Okay, so let me ask you a few questions regarding migration. Okay, and here we are talking
So
about
what is migration then? I thought that it's migration from one
migration.
country to another.
Yeah, so this highly skilled individual is migrating from his homeland to a
Right.
foreign country, right? So that is migration. But he's also very highly skilled and he's not making use of his skills in his own homeland. So that is the why the reason is brain drain. That's what we
Okay,
say.
got it.
Okay. Okay. Right. So I'm going to ask you a few questions on it. Have you ever witnessed the magic of bird migration? Okay. Where flocks of birds travel incredible distances. Have you
Uh,
ever witnessed any sort of migration?
I haven't really noticed.
Mm.
I mean, I've never thought about it that how they migrate from one place to another. I have never noticed this thing. So I have nothing
Okay.
to say about it actually.
Actually, there are a lot of my birds which migrate, no? They're migratory birds. So, during winters also they will flock to some other good,
Okay.
warmer places, right? I think in India we have this bird. Flamingo is not a native bird of India, right? But
Right.
it flocks to a particular part of the country, and there is there are thousands of good flamingo, the pink ones, which come and migrate to this country also.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. I'll ask you another question. Okay, how has migration of humans influenced culture, food, tradition in the world, especially India? Okay, can you provide some examples?
Influenced. I mean, when people migrate from, especially from India to foreign country, obviously they want to follow their culture there also. And
Mm,
even at present time, there are communities in different countries, like Indian
mm,
community separately, and they celebrate all the festivals and rituals like they used to celebrate in India.
mm-hmm,
So I think they are influencing others, maybe the people who are living there.
mm-hmm,
But I don't know about I don't know much about it whether the other people are really getting influenced by them or not. I have
mm-hmm.
no idea. But
Okay, so this you're talking in terms of Indian people going and migrating to other foreign countries. Okay, do you think there are other foreign influences that has happened in India also? Anything that you can think of for that matter?
we are following somewhere. Like I can see that in schools now we are celebrating Halloween. From
Yeah.
where this culture comes from, I think it is
Mm.
the foreign culture. It's not the culture of India. So I
Right.
think we are also influenced, and I don't think that it's right because that is their festival. Let them celebrate, and we should be stick with our ones until it is giving you a kind of happiness. But if I talk about that particular one, Halloween, I don't find anything good in that, to be honest.
Mm.
I
Okay.
don't like. this particular festival. And I
Mm-hmm.
have recently heard in the news that there is one old lady, she got heart attack because of one skeleton which is placed on
Oh,
somebody's door. She
okay.
pressed the ring and that skeleton opened mouth and she got scared and she got a heart attack.
Mm-hmm.
So I think this kind of festival I don't like to encourage, and we should not influence with these kinds of things. But apart
Mm-hmm.
from that, if we have something good which we can really adopt and we can that can give us a kind of benefit in any term, then we
Mm-hmm.
are okay with it. Like as I said, the Western clothes, if we are feeling comfortable in that. If you ask me to wear sari every single day, I may not feel comfortable, though it's Indian
Right.
culture.
Mm.
I love sari, but I can't wear regularly. So in
Right.
regular way, where I feel that the Western clothes are very comfortable.
Right.
So yeah,
Yeah, I think wherever we go, we sort of carry our culture and our traditions everywhere, wherever we go. Like, I have seen people celebrate Chhat Puja also in Canada and in UK
oh,
also. There are videos, yeah, circulating on the internet also. So I've seen all these things, right, that people do. And similarly, here also we have people celebrate Christmas, though it's not our
Christmas.
yeah,
Yeah.
though it's not our festival, but we do get to celebrate Christmas also, and we decorate the Christmas tree, right? So it's all about the more we kind of migrate, the more we kind of have exposure about the different food and culture, we try to incorporate it, we try to assimilate it in our own culture, and that is how we go about it, right? So anyway, okay, I'll ask you another question. Many people around the world, they migrate in search of better opportunities, right? Better job, better education. Now people are moving also because maybe the AQI Delhi, the air
Right.
quality of Delhi is getting worse day by day. So that could also be a reason for the migration to some other state, or maybe like if they're rich, then they can migrate to some other foreign country also, for that matter. Have you ever considered moving to a different place for such reasons?
Yeah, I think that's an individual choice. I think I already had a conversation with on this topic with one of my YouTube fellow YouTubers,
Mm-hmm.
and we were discussing about that, like why people actually migrate. The first reason is the higher pay.
Mm,
They feel that if they go there, they'll get the higher pay and they can settle. Second is sometimes I think it's cleanliness. So there are
mm,
people who like to live in a clean environment, which is very hard to find in India.
right.
So people don't listen to they don't follow the rules and order. So that's
Mm,
why they thought, let's move to another country and let's live safely. And as you have mentioned already, pollution, that is also the major cause. Day by day I can see that it's very, especially if I talk about the capital, that is Delhi. So the people move for these reasons only. Apart from that, I
mm,
don't think, yeah, education is there.
mm,
People want good education and that's why they move another country.
right.
And some of them are for business purpose also. They feel that they can grow their business in other country, and they can expand their
Mm,
business.
mm.
I don't find any other reason. I think that's the reason. What was your question? I forgot.
Okay. Have you ever considered moving to a different place for such reasons?
Yeah, we can consider these are the actually reasons why people migrate. Otherwise, why do they go?
Mm,
If it is the same like India, obviously people will not go there. There is
mm,
something better opportunities are there. That is
mm.
the reason people are going from here to there.
So if you were given a choice, okay, and you were given better opportunities, not in terms of career, because you're already a lawyer in India, so the rules and regulations that you follow here, the IPC that you follow here, the criminal procedure code that you follow here is going to be completely different from the other countries. So
Right.
your career is basically focused in India itself, right? But if your husband, for that matter, gets an opportunity to settle abroad, okay, would you consider it? Would you go follow him and take your children also along with you?
Not at all. My answer is a strict no. I would rather staying in India even if I am getting lesser pay, because I don't need money, I don't need career, I don't need financial stability, but I need
Okay.
that freedom which is here in India. India is a democratic country, and the facilities which we are getting here in India, you are not going to get anywhere else. And
Okay.
even the law and order is not maintained in a strict way in India, I would say. Like
Mm,
it is maintaining in the other countries. If you will go there, the rule
mm,
is rule. You have to follow it, no matter
right.
what. But like in India, you are ready to break those rules, and you just give money and save yourself. So I don't want to live that strict environment. Though India, I'm not supporting India as a great country in that perspective, because it's not really a good thing. You should follow rules and order, and that's how you will be able to maintain a country. But
mm,
ultimately, people are not doing that. Even if you will ask them not to throw garbage here, they will do that. Like,
mm,
they're not going to listen to you. But still, I have a certain kind of attachment with India, because I was born and brought up here, and
mm.
I am attached with my festivals. As you
Okay.
said, that people celebrated Chhat Puja in Canada, and also they
Mm,
celebrated Diwali. But
mm.
I feel that the vibe, you cannot get the same vibe which you get in India,
Okay.
especially Diwali and Holi, I would say, because these are the biggest festivals.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, and I don't want to move for this reason, because I'm really attached with my culture. I want to follow it. I want to stay in it only. So
Okay.
even if my husband will get the job, I will say no, and I won't go there.
Okay. But you send your husband then?
No, I won't.
Okay. Okay. Right. Indians are some we are kind of people who don't abide by the rules and regulations, right? Like the reason why the foreign countries are very strict with the rules and regulation is it becomes important at times. You see the people here sometimes behaving in a very wrong manner, right? I mean,
Mhm.
government on the other hand, you say that government is not doing anything for you, but then you see that there are so many development projects that the government does. But if there is any protest, then the citizens of this country are such that they try to vandalize the train, they try to vandalize so many things, government property, which is basically your property as well, right?
Exactly.
So, and when government tells you, there are lakhs and lakhs and crores of rupees that are actually spent by the government of India to clean these public places like railway stations, right, and all these other places. But it's the people who are not really abiding by the rules and regulations. If we
Mhm.
become cognizant of all these rules, and if we love our country, basically, then we should do our part. We should not
Right.
throw our trash everywhere here and there. It's not something to be proud of. But I do understand where you're coming from, where you're telling me that there is a huge sentiment which is attached as an Indian person, right?
Right.
I just hope that we have those kind of sentiments. We love our country, but in a sense that we are abiding by all the rules and regulations that the government come up with, because it is very important on our part also. See,
Yeah.
there is a foreigner who comes to our country and then sees all the mess around, sees the kind of garbage being thrown everywhere. Uh, it's not a good impression that we leave on people,
Yes. That
especially
is
on.
true. I agree with you 100%. It's not a good thing, and there is nothing to be proud of. But ultimately, no, I'm not talking about these things. Like, people, know that Indian people, they don't listen to law and order, and they
Mm,
break rules very
mm,
often. I can see that. Even if you will tell an Indian person to not to do the same thing, he will do that. That is
mm,
not a good thing. But again, I would say that the government is not that strict. It has to
mm,
be strict, but it is not.
mm,
Right.
yeah,
That's why we are again abolishing all those rules and breaking
yeah,
those rules again and
yes.
again.
Mm,
But even apart from that, if I talk about, there are many things which are in another country, they're very strict. You
mm,
can't, for example, if I talk about the North Korea, there are specific rules that you have to sleep
mm,
at 7 o'clock. You have to
yeah,
create a particular hairstyle. You can't choose hairstyle of your own. You
yeah,
can't wear such kind of clothes. Oh my God, so much restrictions. I'm talking
yeah,
about those things which are not
mm,
there in India.
yeah,
We are free to wear whatever I want to. I think people are misusing that also.
mm,
Let's talk about that on another day. But
right.
I'm talking about these things. And when I was watching that video about North Korea, that how many rules are there, I was like
Mm,
literally shocked.
mm,
And I can't live in a country like that.
mm, yeah,
Honestly, I can't
yeah,
survive, because when you raise in a country where you are getting freedom, and suddenly if you are in a country where so many things imposed on you, not to do
yeah,
this, not to do that, you can't
mm,
survive, because that is
yeah,
something which is the reason of your living. People, even a bird, it can't live happily in a prison.
mm,
Prison. So
prison.
how can a person supposed to live like that?
Mm,
So
yeah.
that is my point. I don't want to go to another country.
Yeah, definitely. When you talk about North Korea, for that matter, it has a lot of strict rules and regulations, and if you're not following it, then probably you would be penalized for it also, right? So that
Right.
is a thing there. So yes, of course, India in that sense is very, I think it's liberal. it's a
Liberal.
liberal country, right?
Right.
And the thing that I like about India is that we have this we assimilate each and everyone. We are not like although there are times that we hear about in the news about racism and all these things, but I think
But
as there is so much of diversity, and yet we are very happy with the kind of diversity that we have in India, and we try to live uniformly, basically, right? So that is a thing there.
right.
But I wish that the strict rules and regulations for at least these kind of heinous crimes that happen in India, I wish the punishment was as strict as the ones that you hear about the Arab countries. Like,
Exactly.
yeah, if you are a thief, or basically if you have done a heinous crime like rape or any sort of like any sort of criminal activities with a woman, basically, then you get there is a capital punishment for it, right? So the
Right.
people are automatically very scared about all these capital
Yeah,
punishments, so they don't even think, there is not even a thought that passes that they are going to be disrespecting the other woman who's walking on the street, right?
exactly.
So do you think that such kind of punishment should be there in India as well, so that there is no such heinous crimes as rape and physical violence that we get to see on women in India, basically?
Definitely, that should be there, and I think now it is the high time to apply it because the crimes are rising day by day. Like, I mean, India is not a safe country, I would say, for the girls especially. If you will impose a kind of restriction, I mean,
Hmm.
ban kind of things on these things, if you want to prevent these kind of heinous crime, you
Hmm.
have to make the punishment worse for them. And also, one more thing I have noticed in India that it takes a lot of time to, what do we say, that verdict. It takes a
Hmm.
lot of time.
Hmm.
So all those years, like,
The
why
litigation
to
takes a lot of time,
stretch?
right?
It's a
Yes.
very slow process, I can say that.
Mhm. Mhm.
And a number of crimes are higher. And obviously, if you will, I mean, if there is a strict punishment for that, maybe we can prevent few crimes. But
Right.
I'm not sure about it.
Yeah. Um, I think it is very important to have these kind of punishment, to have these kind of strict rules. Then I think there will be fear among people who are doing such things, who even have a thought, and there is a mind, there is a thought that passes them by, that they can be disrespectful or any kind of physical abuse, harassment that they can do to girls. Right? That is very important on our part. I also admire Singapore for that matter, because in Singapore, chewing gum is banned. Okay, and chewing gum is a very simple commodity, but then you see the kind of there is a lot of things that you can do with the chewing gum, right?
Right.
It litters places, basically. It's not only
Right.
about chewing a gum, it's just about littering here and there. And
Right.
you kind of see it becomes very difficult for somebody who's cleaning it to remove that particular thing, right?
Right.
So I wish that there was in our country we could at least prohibit gutka for that matter, or tobacco for that matter. I feel that it is
Right.
an absolutely important step on government's part to do it. The reason being is people. It's not about chewing tobacco. It is your will. You can do whatever you want to do with your body or with your life in general also. But then you spit each and everywhere. You
Right.
spit each and every corner that you can find, right? And that makes the entire place dirty. What do you have to say about it?
Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, and government should really do something about that because it's been ages like we have been talking about these things, but we're not taking strict action for that. Even our Bollywood stars, they're promoting such kind of things. People are getting influenced. If they can do, why can't we? So that is not really a good impression. First of all, I think government has to ban these kinds of advertisement, like
Mm,
because people get really influenced by these people. If
mm,
somebody is a YouTuber having 1 million audience, and if he's
mm,
doing something wrong and promoting it, definitely that those 1 million people are going to get obsessed with that particular thing. So we should
mm,
do something strictly for that. And
mm,
as you talk about, and one more thing I want to put my point here about crimes, the
mm,
heinous crime you talked about. It is also about the population because India
mm,
has a larger population as compared to the other countries, and that is
mm.
also one of the reasons that more crimes are here in India as compared to foreign countries. So
Yeah, it
if you
becomes
can't
difficult to regulate people, right? Mm-hmm.
yeah, for example, if there is a class of 50 students, it's easy
Mm,
for a teacher to handle it. But at the same
mm,
time, if it is 200 students, it's quite
mm.
difficult, and one or the other will do something wrong and you can't handle it. So that is one
Right.
major reason that crimes are happening in India. Yeah.
Mm, yes. So I think I think strict rules have to be imposed
Yeah,
basically on matters such heinous as these ones, right?
yeah,
And even a simple thing like maybe a banning on tobacco is absolutely important.
yes,
Because see, in Singapore also, when they have banned chewing gum, you're not supposed to do it. Whether you are the native of that particular country, whether you are a tourist, you will have to abide by the kind of regulations. And if you do not abide by those, then you are heavily penalized for it, and maybe you have to go to prison also for that matter, right?
right,
Similarly, in Singapore, you cannot do any sort of like you cannot there cannot be any theft cases also. If you are found even stealing something as minute as maybe like a pencil or an eraser from a stationery shop for that matter, okay, you are heavily you are sent to prison basically. That is the kind of strict rules that is imposed in Singapore. But the
yeah,
reason why they're doing it is also very important to understand and to analyze. See, it is to make sure that you're not misbehaving in any public places, right? The fear is not in a way to like make you very scared in such a way, but for you to be able to discipline yourself in a manner where you don't even think about uh, taking
right,
anything from any such places, right? So I think it's very important. So sometimes some rules are extremely important, and it is extremely important that it becomes stringent also at some point.
stringent. Yeah, right. I agree.
Hmm. So I'll ask you one more question, Karishma. What challenges do migrants face when they move to a new city, state, or a country? What do you think?
I think there are many challenges. And I'm not talking about even country. If you move from one state to another, you find many challenges. You don't know where to live, which area is safe. Which, I mean, we have to look after the schools, hospitals, grocery shops nearby, so that we can live peacefully. And apart from that, knowing others' culture, that is also one of the major problem because we are not aware about their culture, their
Hmm.
living of life, their standard, how do they live, what are the things they are following in their routine life. So we
Right.
have to live there to know them, and gradually we understand each and everything. And
Hmm.
even I have noticed one more thing, that Indian people are little rude as compared to the foreigners, the foreign people.
Definitely.
They're more
Definitely.
polite. The way they say, the way they talk, it's way
Hmm.
more polite than the Indian people. We start
Right.
abusing each other on a very small or minute things, but it is
Trivial,
not
trivial
happening in
matters. Say trivial.
trivial matters. Yeah.
Hmm.
So
Right.
that is one more thing we have to understand, because when we, for example, let's say that I am moving to abroad, I have to slow down my voice. I can't
Hmm.
speak like the way I'm speaking in India because the culture is there. Culture there is different.
Yes.
You have to understand a lot of things once I'm in thinking about migration.
Hmm.
So yeah, we have to follow
You
rules.
have to follow rules and regulations. See,
Yeah,
I'm not saying that we have to curb each and everything that we do, but see, when you move to a foreign country, then there is not much you can do about it, right? So you have to abide by the rules and regulation there. See, if you go to Japan, you cannot speak in a higher tone. That is considered to be
right.
absolutely disrespectful on your part, right?
Exactly.
You cannot be eating or even using your phones when you are making use of a public transport, because that time they feel that it is a perfect time for you to take a nap or for you to be able to sleep, right? So when you speak in a loud manner, which most of our Indian people do, right, it's not considered to be civil basically, right?
Right.
Things that are very important. You understand that that when other people, when you look at from their perspective, it is true. Sometimes being too loud could be some